Damn. So that was like an hour and 15 minutes long. This ain't gonna be too long. Um, this is a trip. So how aliens taught me about my how I still have my telekinesis. I've talked about having telekinetic sex and so on and so forth, and the Kundalini and all that stuff is still real. The mantra, when you have sex, it emits into her vagina, and her vagina warps you and sucks you in, and you see each other's world, you feel it, what I'm saying, y'all moan, y'all actually are talking to the light and also each other's light, in which you can actually travel to. It's actually a practice sexually that all our ancient brothers and sisters actually experience through their sexual nature and science. Is deep meditation through coitus, having sex. And once you emit that light into one another, you go into deep meditation. You can see all those lifetimes. You can feel all those lifetimes. You can retravel and metamorphosize yourself into these past lives, but as you're living the life that you are living today. That's why you see all these instances where all these people be having sex or dealing with certain people. You gravitate. You are being captured by these energies, and you know is either people from this past life or your past life that you're reattained through these lights from which you are made, and and to the beyond. Like examples like Andre 3000, or Common, or when they were having sex with Erica Badu's extra spiritual self and shit, extra spiritual ass and shit. So you know what I'm saying. So there's a reason why your energy changes, because you end up in her world. You end up in her world, and y'all exchange information. It doesn't make, it's not saying that, one is stronger than the other. We've gotten attracted for, a reason. So it's absolutely wrong for people to rag upon each other, or, have people rag on them, or, talk about each other or whatnot. And y'all had sex. You guys had sex with one another. Y'all had a great time. Y'all should have had children. Not trying to, push y'all to if y'all didn't, but you got to realize how special that was that y'all walked in each other's world, regardless of the situation before or after, and y'all did it. That means y'all did it. Y'all ran into each other's world and y'all shared a great time. You never know, you know. But telekinetically, as you guys are moaning, y'all are speaking to that child, you're speaking to all your seeds, you're speaking to your past lives, your new lives, and you're speaking to your life that you're sharing in the realm of her light, in those lights that y'all sharing, in that light that you are sharing as one in that life. You know what I'm saying? They use this Kundalini, this mantra aspect to turn into fabricators, nymphos, actual beings of the fabric of our reality, um, through the Kundalini back into the light. That's what the Kundalini, the two snakes, are representations of going back to that light. You see it in Egyptology, the Hindi, and all types of deals like that. Sex going to the light or in the light or the stomach, and different realms, multi realms, and all that shit, gangbangs. So let me see. Yeah. So the aliens, they did this Kundalini method when they had sex to actually turn into the nymphos, because they were still telekinetic. So you can just imagine if you go into this being and being telekinetic, being that telekinetic still, and still having sex and becoming that light and that nymphonic again, being phonetic, and actually being able to be in reality, being in the fabric of our reality. You can, knock over cups. You can talk to animals. You can be an animal. You can metamorphosize. You can create realms and dimensions around people. You can do all types of deals, but it all is determined by your spirituality. The Everybody has a pretty much. There's no increase. There's not a word of increase or decrease, or being a demon or being an angel when you're in, when you're in a state of um, fabrication. You're actually dealing with yourself in that person's astra, that person's spirituality, and it has to deal with both of your spiritualisms as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Both of your lights as a whole. So, in terms of the universe not judging anybody or anything, God not judging anybody or anything, Miss Finette not judging anything or anybody, Miss Orisha not judging anything or anybody, um, that means we you would be it would be multi universal. It'll be not multi universal. It'll be multi dimensional in different ways of um, amplitudes and altitudes. I don't even want to cop out and say stuff like that. It would just be. It wouldn't even be different levels. It would just the right word would be dimensions. Like so, just because you're real big and you're a really great person and you had sex with a really big or great person doesn't necessarily mean you be like super able to like blow up and grab a light pole and bend it in half and you know make a nigga go into Inception or something like that. Like bring me to insomnia, go into my world and change my whole world around and you know and make me see some crazy shit I don't want to see through y'all Kundalini's process as one. As y'all fused into one and y'all become fabricators. It wasn't that simple. It's not that simple, but that's not also to mean that some evil people that go into these ways can't do that as well. You know what I'm saying? But everybody had like it wasn't a different assignment, that it was just different dimensions that still had to abide by the rules of those individuals in their actual lifespans. It's like they still had to live their lives, but in complete euphoria as one, because as one they're in complete euphoria. So they actually could fabricate themselves in the Kundalini as being nymphos and fabricators of the universe once again, and in collaboration, if they believed it so much so, they would be able to work in unison and grow bigger and fight a certain power. Like if today, like they were doing it, or they were doing and have done so. Let's say we would be like under like extreme telekinetic attack or something. They would have to have sex or be in deep meditation with a sexual counterpart about how much they loved each other and how much they cared about this issue, and they would be so telekinetic that they can turn into fabricators and make a bush move, or actually find out some real shit is going on, or they can fight with their orishas, or which would be being nymphos, or they fight with their creativity, and that's what they were doing. That's what they were doing at Venice Beach. That's what they were doing as aliens. It's being telekinetic, going back to the light with their natural counterparts. That's part of the way how they fought is through their spine chakras. And you can still do that, but once again, this is just a different realm, and this is how you live your life. This is how we live our lives now through this evolutionized state. Um, yeah, it's just and so not saying that they all didn't believe it, not saying that they all didn't believe in it, but just people's lives would be so different, even in the alien world, that if they did use a Kundalini technique, that's where martial arts came from. Martial arts is just um, it's just an artistic. It's uh it's the artistic way of physics. You know what I'm saying? That's just all it is martial arts. It's the it's the it's being is like is being the light is being a justice. It's being a physical artist of justice. That's what it means. That's exactly what it means, being a martial artist. That's exactly what it means. So that's where all that came from, you know what I'm saying? Deep meditative, being harmonized, and you know what I'm saying? So once again, a missionary position, you know what I'm saying? You know, sex, that's what it all was. You know, these people are fighters from the light. Once again, it lines back up. I'm trying to tell you. So, man, so 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 they even dealt with this problem too when they were like militants and they were having sex with one another and they were trying to drive and try to help everybody else. They'll get like dragged into another scenario, a different story, and dudes would be like, "It's just your time to go. It's your time to deal with this story now, and these people need you now. We got this covered, and apparently, whether we live or die, we're just giving it our all, and this is just going to be how it goes. This is our storyline, and we're all just fighting for what's right. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they always lose or nothing like that. I'm just saying that you know everybody. So everybody as individuals, even the people that have forgotten this capability, but just do this naturally, everybody's just on different levels and different wavelengths, and so dimensional that everybody's not going to be on the same wavelength. There's so many people, so many things to do, so many evolution to go through. It's completely infinite, and we'll never get to like we'll never stop living because the the best thing of life about life is the living. Is we will always be the light, we will always be in the light, and we'll never be without the light. We just want better lives. So um so going back to my first video about so I mean the one before this. So oh, I gotta finish the telekinetic. So man, so you see a cup. You see a cup. This is what they did. It's like you see a cup, and you can see what that actually feels like. That's your telekinesis. You can actually see that this is plastic. This is regardless of how you grew up and you know how it feels and stuff. Your recollection of how that feels is telekinetic as well. You see a plant, you're like, okay, that's green. That's gonna feel pretty like soft and rubbery. You see these walls and stuff like that, you're like, okay, you actually feel that grit. You actually can feel that grit and stuff like that when you look at it alone. You know what I'm saying? You see lights, you like, oh, you see my glass, you like, okay, those plastic or those glass, I know what that feels like, or I can just imagine what that feels like. When you see it, you can feel how high or how dense that is. You see this cap, you feel you don't even have to touch it. You like, okay, that's like cotton base, or not just cotton base. You look at it and you like, I know what that feels like, or I don't even have to know, or I just have to see it and I know what it might feel like just off of how I'm looking at it. When people say that, it's just it flies right past them that they don't know that they were just telekinetic right there. They see this pole and it's like it's aluminum or it's metal. You can actually hear while you looking at that pole that it's hollow. You can hear that telekinetically and you're not even paying attention to it. You can hear that this cup, whether it had water in it or not, that it can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know that it makes that noise just by looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're hearing that echo from the outside. It's making the echo from the inside the cup. You can actually hear and feel that through a vibration. You're doing that telekinetically. You don't even know you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? you can feel the color of the lights. You know, this light right here, people like, oh, that's a cool light that you looking at, that's beaming down on you, but you're reacting to that light not only through your emotion, but through like uh through a vibe that you're getting off of how that color is looking. That's telekinetic. You know what I'm saying? These we all deal with different elementary elemental um fashions in which we're just good at doing. You know what I'm saying? So what they used to have me doing is that they would connect me with women that were able to use that Kundalini technique. And if you connect with a woman that an alien woman, an alien humanoid woman that is still equipped with the technique of the Kundalini, so you can become a nymphonic nigga or phonetic fabricator, you can see absolutely everything. I'm talking a bird's eye view of everything, yo. I'm not even bullshit. People, one day I said one day somebody gonna see this, or one day people gonna see this. They don't know what I've been through. I literally got connected with aliens, and these people could see all across the world. You feel me? They could use the light, the sun, and actually look all across the world with their mind. Some by themselves without the woman, because she is in he and he is in she, but you have to go through a spiritual evolutionary climb to actually get to that point. You have to continue to learn the way and get back to that point through meditation or just through experiences, and you can learn that way. You know, one of the aliens that led me down there was actually one of the dudes that was like one of the leaders and whatnot, and he had faith in me, and, and this nigga could look around the world, literally even further than that. You can just imagine how they communicate throughout the whole entire universe, through the whole galaxy. You can just imagine how they even communicate and actually can see. You know what I'm saying? You see in these shows, and they were like instant transmission and this and that and whatnot. Boy, are you serious? Just imagine if, you know, you can, it's not even far fetched. It's not even far, because we are part of the universe. Just, you know, going back, you know, every single time you think about something, you got to just pass it back to the tree and go back into nature and actually think about it. Like, okay, so I am connected with everything. That's why everything is called. That's why we are. That's why they call the man infinite and the woman finite, because we are infinite. Together we are infinite. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. He is within she is within he. I mean, is he without he is, you know, she is vice versa. So if we are connected and we are the light, that means I can see anywhere throughout the universe at the galaxy. That means I literally, if I do, I mean, that means literally I am a part of it and I'm actually feeling it in a different way. But there's different beings that actually interpret the galaxy differently through their they're frequented beings, so they will be able to see it differently, or they will be able to exist in the dimension differently. So once upon a time, we were genetically inclined in a certain way to be this way. So it's not hard to even believe if they still had these abilities and they didn't evolve the way that we evolved yet, or will not, and that's just who they are. But they kept that part of them with them. Then you just imagine if I was still able to be with a telekinetic humanoid alien, and I, like, once you got connected to them, like literally, if they weren't just leading you around physically, boy, guess what they would show you. Like I said in my other videos, like if you daydream about somebody, you connect with them because it's just telekinetic. Is in the daytime when people can speak to you. That's where you get television from, telekinetic vision. But they would show you in that mind again, like a map, or not even a map. They would show you literally from a bird's eye view, like where they wanted you to sit down at, or where a package was, or something like. I mean, not a package. They just always wanted me to sit down somewhere, or they would show like scenarios happening or something like that. Like it was the dopest and most craziest thing they had me do. Or as I was practicing, like this cup right here, just imagine this cup was like at the intersection and stuff, and like they had me focus. Like I had to have my eyes open. I had to be like I said, incognito. I had to be either talking to people. I mean, actually, you weren't allowed to talk to people during the day, but you could speak to people during the nighttime and stuff like that. We was also testing people, but we couldn't judge them because they, they didn't know what they did. You know what I'm saying? Everything was still spiritual, and we still had a, incline to stuff. Like, even though I say that everything had to be multidimensional through your individuality, you reaching for the light and knowledge, I was just being neutral with that, did make you more in tune with the universe. That means your frequency was higher in the light, in alignment with the universe. That would mean that you have more rights to nature, full on, more than anybody else, because you believe and understood, and you have more respect for the universe, so it granted you as much as you wanted, full on abundance. And that's the gift back to you, is your respect for it. And that's just how that's how the cookie crumbles. So that's how the real rose works. That's how the real world works. But um so that is an actuality. But they also lit my ass on fire one time too. Like they had alien ships. Like one time, like they tested me so hard. They they said we gotta telekinetically blast you as hard as we can at least one time, and they made me walk down this whole walkway, and I swear that shit killed me. It hurt so bad. Just to see what they're capable of. But it's a picture in like Egyptology. Like you'll see a picture with like Nefertiti holding up this. I think she's holding up an ankh or a light or something, and there's a sunlight with different beams pointing down, like different arrows. It's said that in the Egyptian times that they still have this telekinetic ability, that they were doing exactly that, exactly what I said. So if they're able to answer transmission, these people were completely telekinetic, and they had alien brains still, and they were still telekinetic, and they were still infused with nature still, then I'm telling you right now, what I saw, what I witnessed, and what was going on, they were using actual sunlight as their power, and they were actually pointing with stuff to stuff with actual sunlight, with using their minds. Straight up, I'm not lying. I say it. I'll pay for a polygraph test or whatever. You can ask me whatever. I'm telling you what I saw. I know what I saw. I know who I met. Actuality, like I said, the elements that people were teaching me through the elements, and I was part sun, I was part grass, and I was part water. I forgot about the sun part if I didn't mention it, but I they showed me the sunstone, and I was actually able to point with sunlight as well, and we were like fighting different demons and spiritualisms and stuff like that. I was still a novice and stuff, but literally you could recharge your brain with trees and the sunlight, and you know water and all types of different stuff. You can charge yourself through nature and willing it back. That's literally what you do to get better. It's crazy. I'm telling you, you can do whatever you want, and actually put me on a polygraph, telling you I pay for it myself, or you pay for it. You bring your own dude. You can have people sign up, vote for whoever they want to come up. I'm telling you, I'm gonna pass it. Ask me them questions. Not for a lot of people. I do not lie to people, straight up. That is what happened. That's what I was taught, and everything goes full on throughout the whole knowledge. If you connect to the universe, and this is what we're capable of doing. We're all electronic. Why couldn't we be able to do that? We were able to do it. And they did it. They showed me, and it is what it is. So I got reconnected with one of these alien women, and you can actually see a bird's eye view of absolutely everything. So like I said, they would have this cup at this intersection right here, and they would be training me like these papers. I would have to literally now be able to locate this paper behind me without even looking with my telekinetic powers, with actually just me being normal, so I can reclaim my name and fame to actually know and feel these papers with my normal electricity like I'm supposed to know in the first place. I'm supposed to know, how this, where these papers that I just threw behind me was with my natural powers. I'm not supposed to be forgetting about this part of myself. You know what I'm saying? We evolved, so we evolved differently and stuff like that. But they're just saying, yo, you can still feel that. We know that y'all can still do that. So I'm supposed to be feeling it, and I can feel it. I know where it's at. It's just right there. I'm not just predicting. I know I can feel it. It's right there. Sometimes you turn around like, man, it's not right there. I thought it was right there. Probably roll down the street, but it is right there. You know what I'm saying? So this right here, they would have this all the way down the street, and literally, they would have me feel this with my mind and my electricity again. After they done fed me nothing but bullshit, like chicken, trash food, nachos off the bench, all that shit. They made you eat everything and say that you can still do this whether you eat bullshit or not, because they had me eating nothing but leaves and purified water and all that shit. They were like, look, nigga, this is another reason why you can't judge people, because of this shit. You can still sense this down there, so people ain't got shit to. They need to own up to their responsibilities too, nigga. Like, you better recognize the shit. So I'm gonna do this, and I gotta go up real quick. It's about 11:50, anyways. But yeah, she took me up to like a bird's eye view. Like, they had different women, and different women, of course, would have different scenarios and different storylines. But you always had to make sure you find a woman that was good in spirit or something like that, or even, I had some roughnecks, and they were just super skilled and talented and shit. So, like I said, you still can't. But they was learning through me. That's how the attraction worked. It wasn't good and bad or evil and stuff. We all was going through a learning process, but we was all fighting for the light. She was just from a rougher neighborhood than I was, and I had to deal with it. Was, oh shit, fuck, swear I saw something, but you know what I'm saying. That's just how it was. But she was really attracted to me. She just wanted me to be a certain way, and they were like, he's really that way, but you don't understand how he has to be an incognito. But he really ain't that way, because he only got a taste of what the real was, and but he really more native to that way, because he's giving us our respect and he's being humble to it and stuff. But we still gotta toughen him up and yada yada and this and that and the other. And they were like, you still gotta do that instead, stuff like that. So it still was going both ways, and they was learning as well, because they were a part of my storyline, and I was a part of theirs, and we were learning through each other. You know what I'm saying? I had to go through a whole congregation of different aliens, and they were trying to decide whether or not they wanted to kill me right then and there, and they also was scaring the shit out of me, and talking about, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You can't be a king, and you can't be the king or something like that. But everybody was kings. They were just really fucking with your mind, testing you and shit. So, but like I said, they had this cup over there. I just wanted to point this out. So I got a bird's eye view. I can feel it right there, but I'm supposed to put like an imaginary spirit light bulb in this cup from here. So you think about it, just think about a ball right here. Like, I'm thinking about the ball right here, and it's going in the cup. Right there, and you can feel that cup. You can feel the cup, and you can feel the rim around the cup, and literally that's your telekinesis. Telekinesis. And electronically, you thinking about it, and you holding that ball there. Electronically, something or electricity was just right there, and that just happened. Literally, it just, you didn't have nothing there, and you evolved, not necessarily past it. The electricity didn't weaken, the water pressure didn't do none of that stuff like that. We just evolved, and now this is just, everything around us is has a foundation and we're still evolving to this is I'm not even gonna say it's a transition phase. It's just we've been through that all already and there's still electricity there. We just have to keep evolving past this point. If we want to get back to that, it's probably something better out there for us now since we've already experienced it. But that is plain to see. We probably already had social media. Like we probably did everything that we possibly could during that age or time, and now we're like here now or something. Now we're like manufacturers. We're doing everything with our hands, or we have a bigger stage upon us. You know what I'm saying? We just can't blame it off of like some particular way of science, and we're like, oh, now we ain't got our powers no more. We can't be like that no more. It's much more. I don't want to say complicated. It's much more beautiful than that. It's more transcendent as that. We're still young and still understanding that part of growth itself. You know what I'm saying? We can't just say, oh, we ain't got powers. We just ain't. Nah, it's a growing experience still. But literally, that just happened. That just happened, and we can make anything with our hands now. You know what I'm saying? We are an extension of the universe. We can still do it. And they still got beings out there that can just do it with their minds. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And them niggas was still fucking us though, and you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta shout out for something. You know what I'm saying? But that literally just happened, and I'm actually still able to make it. And throughout history, the aliens came down. They still did the deal. So we are desirable. We are still desirable. We got something going, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You want to make you want transmuted children. You want to evolve with those kids. I mean, those people do it. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? That's who you want to be, and that's actually how colors and fabrications through the nymphos work. It's like you want to gravitate. You want to be an X-Men and a mutant, and we actually go out to space and we actually see these mutants, and we actually this and that and the other. Everybody's not gonna want to be an X-Men. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to go to fucking Marvel or something. Might be. Damn. That is X-Men. Some people fucked up my joke. Some people want to go to damn man, I don't know, Capcom. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they got some marvelous people there too. But that's just what I mean. Like you're just gonna gravitate towards the type of art either through your past life or your new life or modern life or whatever. You're just gonna gravitate towards that art, and those are the people that you're gonna hang out and the type of people you're gonna have sex with. Maybe even completely different. You're just gaining that attraction of energy just to go out with certain other people. You know what I'm saying? It's all gonna be different. You're not always gonna want to mate with these certain people just because they got power and you envy their money or something like different type deals like that. It's completely beyond our understanding. I mean, it's beyond our understanding, but it's so simple that we understand it. We just know what we like and want to have sex with. It's easy. You know what I'm saying? But you'll never figure it out that way. Oh, you just because this and that. Like, no, everybody's different. You got to believe in depth. But some things are really simple. Yes, motherfucker, you are. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you do. That's what you like. You know. So, um, and I got to get out of here real quick. So, um, just to bump back on that previous video. Naturally, um, I know this is gonna be hard, but this is one of those mental blockers. I gotta hit y'all with some real shit because that's what I gotta do. That's part of my job when I'm doing this. Let me pick up these papers. Um, this is my job. I gotta tell y'all the truth. So, these Catholic churches, I've seen instances in churches where they've taken advantage of like women and children and stuff because they take over your God and that's what you do. And as you're getting higher to the spiritualism, you actually get more confidence in through religion that everything's gonna be all right, which sombers you down to actually believing that you could actually do whatever you believe that you can actually do, thus resulting eventually into having children, and it makes people feel really comfortable around you because you're giving this type of spirit, and it's going to translate over to the children, and more prosperity in your lives, and so on and so forth. It's mathematics, and the science is biological. You make you feel comfortable and stuff like that. So some people do use their talents for evil, but a lot of people, they I don't want to get this confused. What I'm trying to say, I don't want to get anybody riled up or anything. I said one day somebody's going to see these videos. People are going to see these videos. That's why I'm putting these in the archives, because it's very important. And I already explained the bio kinetics behind all this information. It is what it is. I'm just a messenger. Like I said, there's infatuations in all cultures, but all these cultures are just justified through the nature of our beings, which is just, um, we just have sex as soon as we can. You know what I'm saying? So all these cases about, rape or molestation or manipulations and stuff like that. First of all, Bill Cosby was framed by boosters, booster women from rich men in politics that you know um, that they had to have known these niggas that was throwing these mansion parties with, and these strippers were just boosters, in which a time in which dealers were selling a certain drug, and what they did, they just even if Cosby had a taboo, what I'm saying, this is right to be different, what I'm saying, as well as he would want to, and even I have a fetish for BDSM. You know what I'm saying? I love getting down and dirty. I don't like the reverse part. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? But I like tying them up. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no thing. Might electrocute somebody once in a while, but it's just my thing. But just Cosby had he had a taboo of his own, and they just had a certain drug at the time that fulfilled his needs. You know what I'm saying? It's a very prominent, intelligent, talented man, but it's just all about cutting off the head and leading us on behind Cosby, as they knew what his fetish was, and they used that against him in the future just to cut us down. You know what I'm saying? By saying that they took him out as soon as he made his move, and we was all excited about all the opportunities that Cosby was about to give us after they knew who was throwing these parties, what Cosby's spill was, and stuff like that. At the same time that all these politicians were going overseas having sex with all these sex trafficking victims, and what I'm saying, stuff like that, with all these sex trafficking rings, and yeah, they're victims too. I'm not putting light of that at all. But you actually have to look at this is you got to put it in a factual basis. Yeah, hurt is hurt, but it's hurt because all these societies and governments that's institutionalizing us to believe that these women at a certain age can't have sex. You know, and these older men with money and power can actually buy their ways to having sex with them, and even manipulate their ways in religion as priestess and preachers to have sex with them if they um, get you to believe in a certain spiritual mentality. You know what I'm saying? So your guard is down. You have sex with whoever you want to have sex with. You bless whoever you want to have sex with. But actually, as native people, we had sex as soon as we possibly can with absolutely everybody and everything, vice versa for the children. And it just was natural. We weren't, hiding behind no bushes or nothing. We had clothes, nothing. It's, just trying to justify it beyond that means is completely outrageous. Just, just upon speaking where we literally intermated with one another in the same communities, and were relative to to like to I don't know, we were like relative to like absolutely everybody around us, and it, it's like we were having so much, we were populating so much and having sex so much, and this is just a result in how we even came to be and continue to be amongst this planet, absolutely everywhere in the most vastest numbers that we can ever conceive or put on paper, through having this much sex from 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 a multiplicity of standardized species that may have looked, that may have just been, replicas of our natural environment. And it may not have been, that many of us to begin out with. You know what I'm saying? It might have been, a couple here and there, but they would have sex with each other. They would have sex with each other, this and that and the other. And that's just how it came to be. And so when we came to have colonies, you see it in Africa, you see it in South America or whatnot. People still in the bush, or people still in or in huts, or even people still today in these communities. It's like they have 4 or 5 different wives. The Middle East, they have like thousands of wives, and the brothers have share these wives, and these relatives have sex with one another, and all this stuff like that stuff still happens today. So why wouldn't we correlate that with, and actually people do, is just we're being programmed so much to believe. And what I'm saying, and these other areas, they're actually trying to sell off these young women's uh yeah, their vagina and stuff like that, because they perceive it as like really good money. But this is what we're being institutionalized to believe. Now it's wrong, and people have to get hurt because now they have to fight past their natural nature. They have to fight past their nature in order. They no they have to fight past what's blocking them from their nature to get to the truth by committing sin in this society that's telling them it's wrong and teaching them that it's wrong. So when they make this act, they believe that it's an unnatural act, but they're actually acting naturally. So I got that part wrong. I mean, I got that part right, but that other part was a little wobbly. But that's really what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's the story of Constantine. They're trying to teach you what is natural, as is going against your natural being. So you believe you're in constant sin, but you're constant sin, constant sin. Constantine, I think I just found out what this word means again. All these words, it's crazy. But you're in constant sin. I mean, but you're acting completely. You're you're completely constant. You're acting completely natural. You know what I'm saying? So all these older dudes are trying to find out, trying to find out where the hottest young girls is and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They really want to impregnate these girls. Yeah, they want the old trees and the old fine wines, but literally, it's like it was our elders' right to have sex with, the young ones, because it was a celebrated act. He's like, okay, I'm going back to the world, and now you just came out of the world, and I want. It was like it's like an amplifier. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just came from the new world. I'm going to the I'm going to afterlife to be reborn. So so it was like I want to experience you. I want to it was like I want both of us want it's like both of them want to feel, both of them just came one just came from God, and one is really in tune with God as being the elder. So they're both highly amplified in the light. So them coming together creates an even bigger light. So the one, and his seeds would be even more, even vice versa, as a young boy having child with with an older woman, they're more seasoned, and your balls are more, they're brand new, as well as young girls' eggs are brand new. So you're gonna make magnificent babies. You know what I'm saying? You know, all that information that they gained and all the pureness of your information that you'll be giving them, it'll be an amazing child that y'all would make. You know what I'm saying? It's an amplifier in that way. You know what I'm saying? All these children, all these people that you meet, all these attractions are really just lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? There's no up and down, no decrease or increase or anything like you know that people try to say. You know what I'm saying? That's a life that. You know what I'm saying? There's different fact, like people, just putting it like this, everything is completely in depth. People have different stories all across the board. It's completely transcendent. You cannot, it's beyond your understanding. And it happens all the time anyways. Anyway, these people that's telling us not to do, these people that's out there telling us not to do this, that not to do what we're out here always doing anyways, and trying to prosecute us, put us behind doors, and all this stuff like that. These niggas, these niggas literally were having sex with one another to keep, and I even said that in a judgmental way, but they literally were having sex with their own family members to keep the wealth in their bloodline, literally. And now they telling you it's incest and all this stuff. Incest actually mean the inner core of the universe, and ancestors actually mean the outer core of the universe. That means they went out of the ans that means they went out of the outer core of the universe and were reborn ancestrally into the new universe to become part of the colors inside of him. So we're literally having sex with our relatives right now, and then they come and become ancestors again. You know what I'm saying? It's a deeper meaning to that. It's a deeper explanation to that. But basically, you know, you see the rod. You see if you, but it's simplified in looking at your sexual organs. You see the penis. It goes into the vaginal area, and she has the two balls, and it's on the outside, and and it's like my creativity and my sperm goes into her, and then she forms life. That's the color inside of her, and then those two orbs on the on right below her hips is the outside of the universe, and then my two balls are the outside of the universe, and we have the color in the middle, and we both emit light in the middle, and it's really all the creativity in the middle that we making this light and emitting this light, and then there's expansion of the stomach from this creativity, and you know then there's another universe and there's another galaxy, and it keeps expanding, and it's just how it is. That's another explanation of how, you know, water from the womb, which is in the prophecy. The key to my son, the key to the light, is running water. That's actually in the Aquarius prophecy, which is a part of my bloodline. That's why another reason why the aliens talk to me. But it's just really it's a scientific method. As the woman is giving birth from the seed that we put in her, the water actually nourishes, and the water from the fetus actually comes out in spores and expands the universe, because it's like elastic water that comes out of her. It's like, I don't even know how to, it's like it's the same element as your mucous membrane. It's the same element as the sticky stuff in plants. It's the same element as just your sperm, your cum, the stuff like your smart mucus, and it goes out into the world, and there's a reason why you have sex in nature too. It goes out into the world and is putting the plants in the soil, and then it goes out and spews out into the universe, and it actually has an effect on the universe, and it expands it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? We're like, oh, you can't look it up. You don't need to look it up. It's actually the truth. That was the stuff that actually formed that child. So why wouldn't the life force actually be able to go out into the universe and become a part of it? Where does it go? It actually goes completely everywhere, because it is what we make, that makes us, and we give it back. It's more love and more life to it. So I'm just saying, let me erase this, and I gotta go. It's crazy. So Bill Cosby had a fetish, and they had boosters there, and that's just what they was doing. Any real nigga, any politician, any corporate person knows how the women get down on the real. Ain't nobody stupid. It was a booster, and they just kept tabs on them. Those rich people kept tabs on them. They let them on until the time was right, and they were like, "Yo, it's time to get Bill." You know, all them females kept tabs on them. They're like, "So what his fetish is?" They're like, "Oh, this and this and this and that and whatnot." And all of a sudden, that's all of a sudden, it's crazy, because it's like all of a sudden they say all these accusations, but what they settled out of court was a year. It was a year and three, and people still hammering them and stuff like that. Okay, if you really did this to that many women, trust me. One, you would try to take it to the box, but they trying to blackmail them and just say, oh, so they can get up in our hearts and our heads and talk about, oh, Bill did this, now he got this on his record, blood. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, though, because anybody that really know, if he really did it, they probably trying to blackmail him. If he really did it, dude would have been there for life. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Wrong's wrong. You ain't supposed to hurt nobody straight up, but I'm just trying to tell y'all and give y'all facts. I'm just trying to give y'all facts straight up. So if that was true, he would have been in there for life. They settled out of court to say that they never found any drugs, or they didn't know how he apprehended or anything like that. So they had to settle out of he say she says type type deal and whatnot like that. So Cosby had a fetish, and this is what they did. So they just had to clap him with that. You know what I'm saying? That's all they could really clap him with, plain and simple. Because if he was able because if he actually did it, then they would have just took him straight to the box and sent him away forever. But since they didn't, and they had to blackmail him, he had to settle out of court with them and take that deal for 1 to 3 years off of a he say she say. This is where they got it from. So that you know, this is where they got. This is where he obtained these drugs from, and then he would have to have told which drug dealer was there, or which female had the drugs, and or him being an accomplice into an informative stage that could have busted a drug dealer. Perhaps there's other celebrities in the game that's making money off of certain drugs, or just past drug information that he didn't want to give out, that these women were out there, boosting from these guys that they were boosting from. Apparently there had to be some more information, because none of those drugs belonged to him. But where either you hop in there and they passing them out, so you can have like a little play toy during the party, a little play package, and you can pop one, or the majority of the time, which the females know, and they know what the party's about. Everybody knows this. They never out of whack. I'm telling you, females smarter than that. I already, everybody knows that. Men know that we all smart. We not looking at fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you at a party, like fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Which is the mansion party. That's why you there, and there's a kind of party. People have these kind of fetishes, and that's kind of stuff is going around. That means you knew. You know what I'm saying? But you talking about prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? You talking about they deserve all the respect in the world. All these women. You talking about women that were just completely boosting and willing to do anything to sell that profit to get what they could off of them. And that's exactly what they did. And they had a plan in place, and they executed. They knew what they were doing. And everybody know when it comes to them boosting, And just come to stuff like that, they pop it as soon as they hop in the doors, they drop. And it is what it is, and they know what it is. And you know, an intelligent man like that wouldn't even took that type of that would have did that type of move if he would have known it was okay, but they was keeping tabs on him, and that's what they did to him. You know what I'm saying? He knew that he couldn't. He did no wrong, so they hit him with, well, like, they said they couldn't find anything. Okay, they couldn't find anything. What about those accusations that they put up on him that could have put him away for life? They didn't say anything about that because they had nothing on him because he did not do it. I mean, he didn't do it in the way that they were trying to say he did it. It was just a fetish. So it was just a fetish, and they knew they was boosting. They just right now, I believe they ain't trying to out that drug dealer slash they dealing with some more powerful people that was keeping tabs on them. And he was like, I can do 1-3 years and nothing like that. I may be old, but I ain't that old. I'm gonna get out and just, hit skip because they ain't gonna be able to hit me with nothing after that. So he just really being a G with it. And we really got to stick next to our men and use our minds better than that. Anybody real know how it really go down. Oh, okay, what you trying to buy something, this, and that? Everybody knows. You go to the, what I'm saying, you're not looking for this. You must be looking for something else while you here. Ain't nobody asking questions because the people that don't need to ask questions are there. You know what I'm saying? They know what it is. They know what it is. Ain't nobody dumb, man, for real. You know, they trying to capture these minds of these people that's at home sitting down and at these jury hearings and putting niggas away for life because you're being programmed and you don't even care about the truth, but you know the truth because you out there doing some shicey ass shit yourself and just acting behind bars and stuff, slapping your kids, slapping other people's kids around the daycare and stuff. They trying to get on their side and they voting for them because they really scared of their own lives. But you still can't judge them, so we got to do the best we can to help them out too. So, um, so that's another reason why. Oh, okay. So let me finish that. Um, basically, I'm just trying to let y'all know that that's just the crazy part. I know it's not nothing great to talk about and justify, but I'm just telling y'all the reason why people get in and you know inject people with their own sperm and all this stuff and molest or rape or anything like that. I'm just telling you, fact biologically, it's just people are just sexually suppressed from their actual nature to actually being completely free to be sexual in nature. That's all it is, really. They're extremely suppressed, and they're fighting they're fighting they're fighting an engineered society that's keeping them away from being completely natural. And you know, sometimes it can drive people mad because it is who they are, and it's a part of their creative nature entirely. You're stopping somebody from being free and being creative completely. You know what I'm saying? So they put these laws and these they these publishings or whatever they want to call it, constitutions, whatever you want to say, but they would completely leave out. They've allowed it to gradually incline until we can change it or just burn it all because it's just paper. But they did not but they didn't give us the sexual freedom to be completely sexual with ourselves and anybody around us because at all times, or even give us the freedom to have to be one with the land. Like that's all that those constitutions or anything needed to say, is that you cannot stop a man from being with his land, or you can you cannot stop a woman or a boy with being with any adult man or woman, or you can't stop anybody from having sex with anybody or anything. You know what I'm saying? With those two, land and just completely sex, Tell me I wouldn't need anybody. You know what I'm saying? There would be no tabs of real estate. Look around. We wouldn't need anybody. Those are the only things they had to say to us. We could have made our own colonies. You know what I'm saying? Those are the only two things. Debunked. You know what I'm saying? And then I gotta go. But the reason why aliens haven't contacted us directly is because they have to go through a spiritual. They have to take their own analytics because so we have to learn in depth our own lesson from nature. You know what I'm saying? No, we have to learn our own lesson from being away from nature for so long. We have to learn our lesson, the hard lesson, so we can retrieve it in our DNA, so we can evolve past motherfuckers manipulating us by using money. We have to get past this so much that it'll never happen again, and we'll never forget how much we love nature. You know what I'm saying? That's that, and aliens believe in spiritualism too, so they just know we have to evolve past this. They just can't save us all the time. They are out there doing their deeds, and they are training people. They are doing their just dues, and there's a lot of portals and vortexes that they go through, and they meet different beings, and they do this and that, do that, and they still teach us. They still out here. They're doing what they can. But we have to do this ourselves because this is our evolutionary species that we have to fight, or we're gonna die out completely. They are different beings that are just like us elsewhere, but we don't want to die out ourselves, and this is a lesson that we have to learn. We have to save ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So basically, we have to save ourselves so much by being heroes, heroes, Jesuits, just you, us, just Jesus's lights, that it has to traumatize us back to reality. You know what I'm saying? We have to see through our heroic ways how great nature can be for us, by us, alongside with us. And we have to know that so much that we have to show examples of this so well that it traumatizes us in a euphoric state. So I guess it has to just be plain out orgasmic to how incredible the infinity of everything can possibly be through our imaginations and creativity, and just having sex all the time could be for us if we succeeded in beating out our adversaries in 2019 on January the 28th. Space is nature too. You see grass, ocean, you see fishes and stuff like that. Fishes in ocean, trees. I said that like it was like a phenomenon, like it was crazy to see fishes in the water. Trees and grass, yeah, on grass and soil and shit. Nigga, you smart. Uh, yeah, it's outer space, nigga. We in outer space. You want to find aliens, nigga. You looking at them. You know what I'm saying? Uh, the outer being in outer space is just as crazy as it is looking underwater. You know what I'm saying? You never know what you might see out there. Just like you see some crazy shit underwater around the world, you're gonna see some crazy shit out there. Just not planets. You're gonna see lights, different types of colors of moons and colors of stars and stuff. Nature is gonna be pretty crazy out there too. They probably have space grass out there too. You got seaweed and water, man. I'm pretty sure there's some foundations out there in space that you can actually step on that they're not actually telling you. You know what I'm saying? It might be light grass, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Light grass. You know, oh, and like I already said, Christians were the biggest warriors in the world. Like in all time, Taylor Swift. You know what I'm saying? Of all time. Christians and missionaries, like the military, these people that are super amplified and being saviors and protectors, like police officers, and they're like acting like freaking jerks because they're just trying to keep, the peace and stuff. You don't realize what your power is. You don't realize that you're a real hero and you used alchemy and science to protect the lights and the lives of all, and you actually did what you really wanted to do, and you said F whatever society and corrupt government that was in your way. You could use the power of the universe to fight back. Your sciences of everything to fight back. People want to talk about guns and nuclear atom bombs. They can kick dust compared to what you could do with science if you just knew. This is these we're talking about religious people that actually die on the cross themselves, that actually sing their heart out to these songs. Imagine the power of the universe in these people's hands, and they literally wanted to save the world, and then they put the pentagram of Satanism in their face and talk about sorcery and magic is witchcraft. They trying to really keep y'all away from y'all knowledge of knowing how incredibly powerful y'all could be in your religion. You're realizing your jinn. Literally, that's what they're doing. That's literally what they doing. Niggas drive by and shit, driving slow. Niggas probably high. It's probably 2 o'clock in the morning. No, it's 12:30. You probably just got high early. School kids and shit. But yeah, man. And then they put in these books and manipulated it. And it was like, hey, you motherfuckers don't practice witchcraft. You don't know what witchcraft is. It's sorcery. It's crazy. This is what happens when you get you do this, demons is in you and stuff like that, boy. Jesus was the rawest sorcerer of them all. Jesus was a hero. Jesus was a hero. Jesus was hero. It's a story about a hero. It's a story of the light. And all these stories up in these books. Jesus was murderous. That means that nigga was really Egyptian. Nigga was really black. I mean, not even putting a face or an ethnicity on them or nothing like that. Like they got different heroes in other religions and different parts of the world too. But just to be crazy, we talk about our superheroes now and seeing and talking about some shit. Now we talking about some nigga that literally used sorcery, the source of your being, your soul power, your religion, your ability of God, which is the universe. Yo, this means this nigga was raw. This means Jesus was cold in science. That means this nigga was like a stupid alchemist, fighting all these demons we reading about, being connected with the universe, talking back and forth to the universe, biometric, like nigga was actually communicating with the universe and literally being a raw sorcerer fighting evil, literally, like he was studying, learning and stuff, and he literally like crazy. He was a crazy ass sorcerer. Dude was a hero. He was a hero. He was a Jesuit. He was a light. Man, crazy. Crazy. That means Jesus was a cold sorcerer, dude. That means Jesus was a super cold warrior sorcerer fighting all these demons with his science, bro. Really. And of course we could all heal each other through this stuff, man. That's another debunk. Like that has to be like the another story that had me like, woo. I did my research. I was like, hey, this dude from this means this, that mean this that mean Jesus was real and he really was fighting evildoers. That's another fashion in which niggas in like Africa and Egypt, and we had been the cultivators of every single last one of these arts and just because, it's not even based upon ethnicity, and we're not discriminating against anybody else trying to hop out and say we was first. It's just, niggas been oppressed for the past couple of days. What? You know what I'm saying? That people try to count us out. I'm like, no, we actually first, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was me. You know what I'm saying? But we all love you. We're all family. We still all equal. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. But um, it's crazy because people think that just Africa and Africa's old kingdoms fell, and people be like, man, how this happened? This and that and the other. This and that. Woo de woo. And the aliens told me it only took, like, they boxed. I mean, no, they said they boxed with the military, the U.S. military army, or the armies around the world one day, and they only, I mean, they had to be 20, 30 years ago, and they only used three of their people that they trained to be Heroes, and they were still using Egyptian slang as Heroes to beat all of these niggas. Only three of them. I got taught by the three, but in, like, column in, like, sections and stuff. They taught me differently. It was like in-depth training. I'm supposed to know how to do all this shit. I just got trained from like a life life lesson standpoint, but I still got to know the knowledge through that. I just evolved from that. Our beings evolved from that, so we still don't use it in that way. Maybe one day we will, because we aspire to be that way, because it's it's about being part of the universe once again. You know what I'm saying? We're probably just being, electronic in a stationary way, as is our planet, or our universe, our galaxy is right now. So we're probably just going through a transition stage like everything else is. Once everything, starts to split again, we'll get our powers again. You know what I'm saying? It's just a transition part. It's just a transitional stage. But yeah, they said they only had to use three to beat these armies that came against them. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine who they use their armies against. They actually said, like, man, you can just imagine niggas flossy with sagging, and just with, like, long tees. Like, you got to see how we look with, like, robes and stuff. Like, niggas, we look like heroes, and niggas sagging these niggas backwards. Niggas try to say that shit gay and shit. Niggas, that shit look like capes. Niggas look like they got capes on. So you mean niggas had capes on? We flossy, we were cold shit in robes, or in long tees, or in sagging, and we fly through the air when we just dunking. We just elegant in the ring, and just everything. And they used to call us Hey Ruse, like, just back in the day, the coldest thing was to be an alchemist. And you talking about niggas? Oh my god, phonetics, nymphos. Oh my god, and they just our things were just sexual. Oh my god, like, and Jesuit was a nigga. Boy, and we always got the newest and flashiest thing, and we talking about gold and alchemy. Oh man, like, yo, that had to be the dopest thing I found out, yo. Like, Jesus was a cold ass heroic warrior that was actually being told as, like, some type of sucker Caucasian dude. Like, I'm not even talking about, I ain't trying to rag on nobody's race or nothing. I'm just saying they try to twist it around and say he was some holy dude and he heard fly, nothing. Like, no, Jesus was black, and this nigga went hard in the sciences, and he fought off these demons. Basically, it had to mean that in this dimensional time in which we will be, as I explained, it's just time different attractions in which we walk into in the lifespan that we deal with through transitions in our lives, and that's what you would call demons. Is that, people that are stuck in a certain mode of emotions until they have to evolutionize and become an angel, and prepare themselves in a different dimension. Or we all have to go through this lifespan to learn what we need to learn, and we go through a different dimension after we become angels once more again. After we become enlightened, as we all become enlightened, we go through another dimension. We propel, we amplify, our frequency gets higher, and we evolve. You know what I'm saying? So This is what they would call demons. So basically, you look at the science. This nigga Jesus, we was all up in this bitch, and this nigga Jesus knew the deal, and he was dealing with demons and shit. Niggas that was up here, putting us in a rut and shit. And nigga came through with the sorcery and the science. Nigga said, "Fuck that shit." Nah, they came through with sorcery and science, and he was a hero. He was a hero. It wasn't like them little VH1 cassette tapes. No, blood was around here. Dude was around here, and he had his science right, and he was going around, and people was around here doing they deal and trying to fight us, and he was a hero, and that's what they base these stories off of. So you can be one too. That's crazy. If the Christians knew, if they knew, which we are hugely a part of, black people, which is our science, because we started this. If they knew what their powers were, if they knew who these people were, if they knew the truth, these niggas would be in science labs today, fighting for us with their hearts out. This ain't right. It ain't right what's happening to them, but they don't know that they imitating a beautiful piece of art, a beautiful time in all of our lives, yo. Crazy. Crazy, super crazy. This is reminding us what the people were spiritually. They were just great people, super great people. But Jesus, man, that nigga was a true sorcerer. He was a true warrior. That's real. But this is another episode of RN. I'm trying to get them points. Nah, this RN us, but it's really RNS. I saw another blog that said RNS, but that shit said Religious United or something. But this is RNUS, so it's like RN us. And it's US, like the USA. I got away with that one. And then it's like real niggas in us, and real niggas you are us type shit. So I was just gonna go RNS or Genova, which is the whole thing, and this is just another archive. I'm just putting these archives in, so they spit out there. One day people watching, they'll be like, what you talking about? I'm not playing. I may skip up and mess up every here and there, but all I'm trying to do is tell y'all the truth, because I searched for it and I got contacted, you know, because I actually wanted to know the truth. I humbled myself down to the core, and they spat on that, and they ran me through the gravel, through the dirt, and killed my ass. And could have killed my ass, and I almost killed my ass, but I learned, I learned, and I learned. They taught me absolutely everything. Oh, I ain't even finished. So that thing with Bill Cosby and stuff, and the politicians with sex trafficking and having sex with like Indonesians and Philippines and stuff like that. They know all that shit is going on. They also knew that Backpage was going on, and that was like a backdrop story to all these Me Too movements and stuff that they didn't even speak about. Like they didn't even put on the forefront of the front page. It's like how all this stuff going on. And y'all know about sex trafficking on Craigslist and on Backpage, and you know what I'm saying? Like everybody knew about this, and these lower income neighborhoods, people are getting kidnapped for organ donating. Oh, organ donors. Oh yeah, donating. They weren't donating their organs, but you know what I'm saying. Um, they were getting kidnapped for organ they were getting kidnapped. They were kidnapping people to get their organs, and they were also kidnapping people. Happened a lot in San Diego here, to become a part of the sex trafficking ring as well. Ashton Kutcher went through it. I think in like 2016, he found out that people were involved in like sex trafficking rings, and they were showing him videos. There's people behind the scenes doing that, and he became an activist through that, you know. And he actually had to find out the hard way that little girls can't do that. But he seeing it in a different light, that he does have to save them. He has to continue to be a light because he's such a great guy. but the possibilities is true. You know, you got to look at it out also from biological standpoint, so we can continue learning. Just eliminate all this because we have to eliminate the desire to hurt people and actually get them to love people through knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Once they know and all the brackets and braces are clear, okay, y'all can go have sex with whoever you want to have sex with, but don't come back to me hurting. Don't come back to me. Don't let me find out you out there hurting nobody, because now you ain't got no reason. You know what I'm saying? But they trying to use that now as a commodity. And, you know, that's another reason why they don't want y'all to know the truth about, you know, actually having sex, or, you know, young men having sex with, you know, even vice versa or whatnot. They don't want y'all to know, because then it's going to scare the mess out of you. You're not going to know the truth of what they're actually capable of doing. And, you know, older men and men of that nature, or people of power, are actually going to keep having these secret mansion parties. They're going to keep manipulating people, and they're going to still keep doing what they're doing. But you eliminate all that, nigga, all that shit is free. Pussy's free. They don't like, it don't matter what you do or who you do it with, all that shit is free. You ain't gonna be able to manipulate me no more, because you can get whatever you want. But, you know, they take that and say you can't do this and do that and do that and do this. They not only manipulated the people that are preaching this knowledge, because they're saying, or trying to manipulate those people that are trying to be free um from this knowledge, but they're gonna try to they're gonna play with it. They're gonna play, yeah, this manipulation, but they're gonna also yeah, it's just, they're gonna manipulate everybody that doesn't know, or in the future doesn't know. That's not what I wanted to say, but, you know, without us knowing the truth, they're going to be able to have the power to manipulate all of us in the way that they want, you know, while they out there doing their deals. Because the majority of people that always have done these things and went out and been a part of these rings is really politicians. You know, that and drugs. They've always had the ups on that. It was always them. And then we receive these things. They didn't, you know, they act like they don't know what's going on, what's coming in and out of here. They do. You know what I'm saying? You can send a spaceship here and there and whatnot, but you can't tell me that Roscoe is busting keys up in here. And you can't tell me that you didn't know Craigslist and Backpage Instagram is getting down. You all of a sudden you can't tell me that, but all of a sudden you can accuse, you know, one of the greatest people of all time and send them to jail for the year, but niggas out there actually hurting people, y'all can't send him to jail. Or the people that's out here having, you know, sex rings, apparently, you know, Chinese bitches don't grow on trees. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Apparently they need help too. You know what I'm saying? People missing in low income neighborhoods, ain't nobody, you know, putting out squads or nothing. Like, they not really out here solving real problems, but they know all about it and they involved completely in it. Then they trying to send us misinformation about what the actually truth is, and then they don't want us to have sex because we can't provide for them, and then they keeping us all away from this food, and they feeding us bad food. It's going completely around to the first video of today, the 27th that I'm posting. It's like, okay, now we can't even have sex with each other who we want, how many times we want, and many times we want. You know, this goes back to how it's like only two people in one car, and five people to a family vehicle, to like how many people that actually live in a actual apartment complex, which is like, you know, usually a master bedroom and one for the kid or a couple kids or something like that. They all monitor. I don't even think the word is monetize it, but they're all trying to formulate it so y'all can only, you know, have a couple kids, so you can only have a car that's able to fit a certain number of kids, so you can that can only apply to the amount of income you have, unless you know, invest in this, invest in that, and, you know, live out there. And, you know what I'm saying, you still gotta have a big enough car. Y'all gotta have two cars with this many kids, and what happens, you know what I'm saying, you really need it's just illogical. That means you need, you know, more people to drive more cars. No, nigga. It makes absolutely no sense. None. You know, two people shouldn't shouldn't only be enough room on the sidewalk for 2 people when we're all relatives and we should have as many kids as we possibly want. You know what I'm saying? It makes absolutely no sense. Doubling up in cars. There's only enough room for a male and a female seat, and in which we have so many people to have sex with and be with, and so many, somebody got to take a back seat. It's completely illogical. We should not have to confide and actually believe this is the end all and be all in our reality. Don't believe in what you see. This is only a point in time in which we are living, and we can over succeed in it. We can completely change this whole reality. So if anybody ever sees these videos, I'm telling you, you can change the whole entire world. You can just change the whole entire world. The whole fabric of our reality is not even true as it is now. The only thing that's true is nature itself and us along with it. From there, it should be completely biometrically enhanceable from its foundation itself along with it. If it doesn't work in complete accordance with nature, then it's always gonna fall. It's not gonna last the test of time. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna grow with nature. So eventually you will be forgotten because of it. So all the stuff we creating and stuff it's great ideas. I ain't gonna lie. It's your art. I ain't gonna do you like that. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? You need to know the truth, and this is the truth. You gotta do something that lasts, or something that your genes can take with it for the rest of eternity. You want a frequency that's always gonna last, and you will always be known forever for what you did because of the science of the universe and what you did for it. You know what I'm saying? This is how it remembers you completely for all. So, you know what I'm saying? Just to go back and end this off like this, they just stopping you. This is why, the world order, this is why they got the pyramids doing this, and then the all seeing eye on the dollar is really your reproductive organs, because the penis has one eye and the vagina has one eye. They're really trying to stop you from reproducing. That's what it is. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. So one day they're gonna see this and completely debunked it. You know what I'm saying? Bow! What Jeopardy? I know the truth now, nigga. They told me. I learned it, and this is what it is. I'm just trying to tell you the truth, man. So I hope people watch these videos. Got you the truth. No such thing as all that Satanism stuff. Your power is really in Christianity, really in the sciences and all that shit. This is all just a folks tale. We can all change our realities. I'm talking about even to the cars we see, to many women and many dudes you have, whatever you want to do. Continue to watch some videos, man. I'm just spitting this truth as much as I possibly can. Salute.